And we have to do a better job of committing to it. This is a great three-point shooting team, and like I said, 7 threes in a quarter they got the momentum going. We missed some shots. We missed some easy shots, missed some layups, missed some wide open shots. We missed some threes ourselves, but we can't put your head down and give them everything they want. And they did. That's how they jumped into a 23-point lead.
Scott, Joseph Bashar, the scorer. DeMar had an efficient 37 points tonight. Did you see it as a failure of something you guys did defensively, or was it just him hitting tough shots and you guys forcing him into spots you wanted to force him to?
It's a great player. It's a great player making plays. He's an all-star for a reason. Multiple-year all-star. Those aren't easy honors to achieve. He's great. Both of those guards, they're all-stars for a reason. Maybe next year I won't vote for him.
Scott, Mike Gander from the Toronto Sun over here. Bradley Beal killed his team on a few occasions this year. He seems to be struggling now. Is that more him, or is that what the Raptors are doing?
Nah, the Raptors are doing a good job. Doing a good job being physical with him. He's missed some open shots, and he hasn't been able to get to the lane and get to the free throw line. It's a little bit on him, a little bit on me, a little bit on John. We find them. We need them. We're going to have trouble beating this team if he doesn't play better, and he will.
Coach, you decided to go to Ty Lawson pretty early in the game. What did you think of his outing off the bench?
He did everything I knew he was capable of doing. I've seen him play for many, many, many years. He's tough, competitor. He competes. He pushes the pace. He's feisty on defense. I like the spirit. I thought the second unit gave us a chance to make a game out of it. If it wasn't for them, it would have been on the plane by now. But I thought the guys off the bench came in and gave us a good lift, gave us good spirit. They competed. They challenged their shooters. They challenged their dribble. They challenged their passes. And we got to do that. But you got to give Toronto credit. They're the number 1 seed for a reason. They're a very good team. They play extremely well at home. And they did what they were supposed to do. They held serve, and our job now, we have to do the same thing on our home floor. We've been in this position before last year, my first year with the group, so we have a little bit of history of knowing how we feel and what we can do to get out of it.
Scott, do you think you found something you can sustain for the rest of the series with Mike Scott coming in as a backup 5?
Yeah, who knows? He might be a starting 5.
Also with Bradley, besides his missed shots, he had 4 shooting fouls. Do you think that led him to have a slump of the game?
I got to obviously look back at the film, but they are fouls. They called them. Can't change that. You can't change the call. But very rarely do you see that many fouls on a 3-point shooter in the same game, let alone a playoff game. But it is what it is. We gotta do a better job of guarding without fouling. Right. You guys have a good night.
All right, Scott Brooks there. Ty Burt wrote in. You think the Wizards can come back after tonight's loss? If they don't, do you think it's time to make some major changes? The Ty's thinking big picture already. He's already written off the Wizards, it sounds like, and looking toward the summer.
Yeah, that's a little premature to write that off, but I do appreciate the concept behind the question. This team has had something amiss the vast majority of the season, and I think there's an argument that can be made that they may need some changes from a chemistry perspective, but what it means to actually make a major change is something different. Speaking of major changes, bada boom.
What's up?
Nobody knows she's sneaking out of the set.
But I think it's something. It may not need to be major, but it may need to be something that puts them in a position to accept their roles a little more clearly and maybe make the pieces fit around John and Brad a little better.
Well, and here's the other answer for Ty is that given the way this Wizards team has been a Jekyll and Hyde outfit over the last couple of seasons, they could very well come back and win the next 2 games.
Listen, you heard Scotty allude to that having been there a season ago. I do think they have a very good chance to win Game 3, and if they win that, that means you can win Game 4
Sure.
and make this interesting. I think also I'm trying to take a page out of Toronto's book in terms of how they play offensively. I just think as dynamic as John Wall is, and you don't want to ever take away his strengths, I think they've got to figure out a way to get a little bit more ball movement. Because even with a great player, when you're really ball dominant, you allow defenses to load. And they don't do as great a job of reading off him. Like, their spacing in relation to where the basketball is on the floor is not very good. It creates a lot of bad passing angles and tough shots. They've got to do a better job of shoring that up, I think. And they tend to play better at home, so we'll see if they respond in Game 3.
And his partner, Bradley Beal, just had a miserable night. He had foul trouble, 3 of 11 from the field, 9 points, minus 34 on the night. And here's Beal in the locker room after the loss.
Guys, I think they're doing a good job penetrating, pick and roll coverage. They were abusing us a little bit, hitting that pocket pass and finding the guys on the weak side, and a lot of miscommunications on a lot of switches we could potentially have, and taking those shots away. But it's a lot of guys in which we went over the scouting report, and this guy's making threes that it's not really their MO coming into the series. But we got to respect what they've been doing, and do whatever it takes to take them away.
You guys have talked so much about the defense the last couple of days. Did you feel like you had it figured out coming into tonight?
Oh yeah, I think I really feel like it's nothing really crazy that's beating us, like in terms of their sets and their offense of stuff that they're running. It's just, I think we're shooting ourselves in the foot, coming off to slow starts, allowing guys to get open threes, allowing guys to get those shots, allowing guys to get layups. You can't allow a team to get both. It has to either be one or the other. You can't give up threes and layups, or you'll be down in 20 in the first quarter like we were. So, we just got to go back to the drawing board. We got 2 at home, and we got to take care of our house. We got to keep our hopes alive.
Does it seem like the mentality is that you guys can dig out of this 2-0 hole?
Yeah, we've been in the same situation. Probably a year from today almost. We're playing Boston in the second round and being down 2-0 early and winning the next 2 and then making it a 7-game series. So, we got to take it a game at a time and focus on Game 3 and get that at home.
Brad, how deflating is it when Dwayne Casey can literally put every guy available on his bench into the game and just really have any kind of matchup that they want on the floor?
They're a great team. They're a well-assembled team. They have a lot of size, a lot of versatility. Defensively, they pretty much switch, and guys can guard pretty much every position. They play really well together. You got to respect what Coach Casey's doing, and how he meshed them and gelled that team together, because they've been playing really good, even after All-Star break. So they've just constantly got the momentum rolling, and we gotta slow them down. We've beaten them. Twice harder this year, but this is the playoffs. It's a totally different brand of basketball. So we gotta step it up more.
The encouragement of having Ty Lawson come out there and play. John had those 2 fouls early. What kind of carryover do you think that he can give you guys, and is he kind of maybe the X factor now for you guys moving forward?
Yeah, he was great today. He was great. Provided some big minutes. Played a lot. I think his quickness, his ability to be able to create, make some passes. He made a lot of great passes today. A lot of shots we probably should have knocked down. We didn't, but he's a great facilitator. He's always been that quick and crafty guard. It's good to be able to see him get in the game and be able to produce well for us.
Brad, with the amount of games, minutes, and with the amount of responsibility that's been asked of you this year, is it starting to wear on you a bit at this point in the playoffs?
Not really, no. John's back, so it'd be totally different if he wasn't. Then that'd be a different story. But no, even if he wasn't, I still wouldn't make an excuse for it. I've played 82 games this year. That's how many you're supposed to play. But at the same time, it does wear on you. You do get tired, but it's a mental thing. That's not an excuse for me.
Were you taking out a little bit out of your rhythm with the foul trouble tonight?
Yeah, a little bit. Those were some whatever. I just leave them alone. But it is what it is.
Foul trouble, shooting trouble, now deficit trouble for Bradley Beal. John Wall and the Wizards head back home down 0-2.